one? No. Maybe this one. So let's start with the build. First peasant to lumber, 4 to gold. The next 2 also go to lumber.
Ready to work. Ready to work.
Then you make either... Well, I started changing it a bit, but basically you start either with an altar or a blacksmith, and then the other.
Ready to work.
You fill up your mine, and you use all lumber peasants to build something. The barracks follows the blacksmith about 5 to 10 seconds later.
Ready
The next 2 peasants build a farm.
Ready to work.
So it's just 4 on gold, 3 on lumber, and then you start filling up the gold and you make 5 buildings at once.
Ready to work.
You go for a
All
maximum of 13 food on peasants, which means 5 on gold and 8 on lumber. Yeah, this is my standard Paladin rifle build.
Ready to work.
8 on lumber, 5 on gold.
Ready to
You start Paladin and a rifle. Note that you'll always be on 21 food, exactly space for another rifle. If you're on 22, you messed up. You made 1 peasant too many. So stay on that 21, 18, and so on. Alright, this time the decision has been made for me. There's nothing you're gonna do except skirmish. Paladin rifle is meant to skirmish repeatedly if they choose to do so. It has good sustain because of Holy Light and Devotion Aura. But if they're absent, you creep to either level 2 or level 3. And then you're gonna skirmish. You don't want to creep to level 5. You don't want to fast expand. You want to fight at some point. Now, this is not even so easy to creep. And so I choose not to creep and go for a very fast tech. You can tech at... Do you have lumber issues with only that many wood peasants? Turns out not, and here's why. You don't need arcane sanctums at tier 2. If you did, you would have lumber issues. But because you're just making rifles and upgrades, it's just right. What you're not allowed to do though is lose peasants. And you're only allowed to pull militia to merc, like to creep, maximum 1 time. If you do more than 1 time militia creeping, you'll not have enough lumber for everything you need. Now, make sure to keep building farms, keep building rifles. There's a few different tech timings that you can do. You can tech at 27 food, which is fast. I started doing that more and more, and I got good results with it. Before that, I would be teching at 36 food, which means you have a lot of rifles, but there's really not much you can do with it. You're just fighting with 1-1 upgraded rifles. You're denied access to the second attack upgrade, and you don't get your Bloodmage that fast. I like this one a lot better, so I recommend 27 food tech. Just unload a bit of damage on DK anytime you can. It doesn't have to be with Holy Light. Generally just try to use rifles. You don't really have anything flashy to take someone down, so you really need to think in terms of steady wins the race. Bit of damage now, few hits, that's all you need. Don't let him coil steal and just play very, very steadily. Make a shop, more rifle, and you can make an attack upgrade on rifles if you like, quite useful. I used to get it after 1 rifle. I think that's a little early actually. Yeah, 11 lumbers is too many, Sylar. Although you could do lots of militia creeping with them. But I do think it slows you down quite a bit to go for 11 lumber peasants. Hey Grubby, so good to see you online again. Cheers to a fun and stable stream. Well, thank you, dude. I'm very happy to be back, you don't know. Do you only damage the DK early game until statues come out? No, I mean you can keep that up all the time. Do it as much as you can.
Upgrade the job done.
So obviously Devotion Aura next. Now we just got to tier 2, and the first thing you want to do is long rifles and Bloodmage. I don't even have attack upgrade yet. I'd say it's nice to get that earlier. But I'm gonna go ahead and get a lumber mill now. I'm a little bit late on the farm. I don't think lumber mill is even required. Not sure actually why I'm getting a mill right now. Obviously, take any opportunity you can get. And you can see that I'm continuing to play very reactively. It's him that's choosing to be the aggressor. We're just choosing to respond to that aggression in the best way we can. And once his DK shows again, I can actually Holy Light him for a kill. Pretty big mistake, him underestimating it. Had that not happened, he could go back, heal from statue, I get the camp, I get level 3, and he can go get level 2+ at home. But he got greedy. Does end up focusing the Paladin. I'm late with the farm. You can see that I was focused on micro a lot. After that lumber mill I started, I didn't do much good stuff. Didn't get the farm on time, not even getting rifle upgrades. So this is one of my less clean games in that sense. I'm also over skirmishing. I already got the DK. I would love to finish the camp. Bloodmage brings the regeneration skill and clarity. I finally get the attack upgrade, and here, boom, I go to tier 3. Now, why would I like to go to tier 3? It's basically after Pala Rifle and Bloodmage. After you start those things, you're really just responding to what you see and what you can do. When do you push undead if they are not being an aggressor? Yeah, that's a good question. I was just getting around to that gladly. So, obviously, you only push when you feel like there's good opportunity. For example, right now, my units are pretty hurt, but I got the regen scroll, I got full mana, I can do Holy Light. Basically, think not in terms of pushing and killing them. If it's a very small map like Amazonia, then you can go and kill a shop and just go back, so long as that provides a good creep flow. Pushing the opponent's base is a very long travel path generally. If I go all the way to his base, I do a bit or not much. Where do I go from there? That's how you need to think. You never really think, I'm gonna go into his base now and kill this player, like I'm going to win the game. I'm not gonna go into his base and win the game now. Why should that be possible with just rifles that have 0-0 upgrades, 1-0? You're always thinking in terms of damage. So if the route to his base is fruitless and not fruitful, where do we go from there? We have to go back, the walk of shame. So our implied odds, our implied reward for having something to do, something good to do, is we can kill 2 slaughterhouse, maybe, or a shop. That's nice. But the expected value is hinged upon the chance that that's going to work, and hinged upon the chance that there's nothing to do, because he's at home, he's defending well, and that's very inefficient. So we try to use small maps to ping pong to his base and then to creeps around him. If it's a longer map like this, we try to control the middle path of the map. By controlling the middle and creeping in the middle, we are providing a force of control that he cannot ignore. For example, if he wants to go to this red spot, I have a quicker route to his main base than he does. That's the implication of map control. I am near his base, he's not. I can push and deal damage and he has to respond. I can force him to go home. And if he thinks I'm going to his base, I can even take his laboratory. So him going anywhere past this point here is actually risky if I'm here. So he kind of feels like he has to respond. And that's exactly the kind of skirmish I want, because it gives me siphon mana. So think not in terms of when do I become the aggressor. It's a constant struggle, and what you want is to take their creeps and to force them to be busy with you. And you have a lot of damage. Your mass rifles is going to be more damage than his 3 Cryptians. So if you're efficient with everything you do, then you should be able to get the edge with your rifles. I made a very dodgy decision now to turn on Scroll of the Beast. It was a waste. I should have saved it for a head-on assault. So think about it. What would you do next? More work, alright. In this situation, we have a few options. We can go to his laboratory and creep it brutally. Or to the natural. Or do we take this orange camp? Or maybe this red spot? Or do we go to this green camp? Do we go to his natural? What would you do? I like that very sage advice. I need to think a step ahead like that. No props. I would just like to hear what you would like to do next, and then we'll see what we do, and we'll compare what would have been nice. Most of chat says should go to the red spot on the left. If I do that, and I walk from below, he could harass me from below. If I walk from above, it takes more time. I'd say probably below. So More Work Alright says probably his expo. I think I actually like that quite a bit, because it gives me access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creep camps. And by being a presence on the bottom right, the only option he really has is laboratory or red spot. But we get 6 camps and a direct attack path to his main base. I do like that. Most of chat said red spot. I like that quite a bit as well. We've got good damage now. We're still going tier 3. We do need to be aggressive, or he will turn the Eye of Mordor to our base and he'll start killing peasants. We were so greedy not to even take any towers. The decision I actually make is to go for his main base. And I feel like I don't have that much things to do here. I do go for a quick Holy Light and kill. He needs to run because of Siphon Mana. He happened to have built one slaughterhouse outside of his Black Citadel's reign of, area of defense. Because of his slaughterhouse positioning, I'm getting good odds on pressuring this. But it's a slow process. I'm preventing him from creeping, yes. I'm getting the slaughterhouse, maybe. Ultimately, I had a lot of creeping power, he didn't. So I need to make this work. I do put a lot of pressure on myself with this decision. But we get the house. But ask yourself, can I get this house? I'm gonna try. I guess this one is well positioned. So if he hadn't, lost his DK early game, maybe this would not be as easy of a push. It actually ends up working phenomenally well. There's a little bit of a skill disparity here as well, I suppose. Plus, it went well for us early game. Maybe when the game goes that well, it's actually good not to give him any space. Not to go for the red spot nor the natural, but to actually attack his main base right away. Maybe. It's just a theory, right? We're not sure. I think it's true. But who knows how the other options would have gone. If I go for the red spot, maybe he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 camps and he catches up. Now he can't catch up. We're not exactly at our power spike because we're not making use of the tier 3 that we did make an investment in. But, rifles, they push pretty well. And we are able to finish the game because we had such a lead. It's interesting. It's game theory. So maybe you can make a rule for yourself, More Work Alright. If it goes this well, I get a hero, I kill a crit fiend, and I manage to creep both shops with him failing and looking at it. Maybe when it's like that, then I will go and push and try to go for a kill or kill the shop or the slaughterhouse or whatever. Maybe you can get some scouting info in their main base and see if their houses are exposed or not. But maybe if it didn't go so well, you'll go to their natural and you'll grind out a path towards his main base and creep small things. And maybe if it went very poorly, maybe that's when you'll go for the Ogre Lord 7 because you need something to catch up. Try to make these paths of decisions based on how well the game is going. To recognize how well the game is going, for that you need experience. Play it a lot and make notes. I was ahead, I think. I know. I was behind, I think. I know. Then I did this. Was it the right thing? It's so fun to play the game like that, measuring your progress and making decisions based on a historical understanding of the matchup. Hope it helped.